Good morning and happy hump day. Well, if you can't tell, I'm starting to come down with something still. Thankfully it's nothing too serious, just like, it's that sort of cough where, like, no matter how hard you cough, like, you can't cough it up. Nothing too dangerous, or serious. Took some Mucinex earlier, and a little bit of ibuprofen, so, for the moment I'm fine. But I guess, I wonder what does constitute as my low. I mean, it was actually a rather quiet day yesterday. Nothing bad happened. Yeah, I guess I'll just have to say my low was the fact that I'm coming down with something. My high was, there was something I watched yesterday that coincidentally involves a few certain videos I have coming up in a couple of days. And my act of kindness was taking out the garbage for my folks, as well as helping my mom watch my nephews. So, consistently, it was a better day than Monday, which is good. I mean, at this point, everybody half expects Monday to be a bad day, but you don't really know how bad it's going to be. And I really wouldn't even say Monday was a bad day, just horribly inconvenient. So, let's talk about the thing I saw. Well, technically I saw two things. Where do I start? What had happened was, it'll be very clear what I mean in a second. So, for those of you who don't know, actor and comedian Jamie Foxx actually suffered from a big medical problem earlier this year. And it was like all over the news. There were some people saying that he had died. Some people saying that, he had a massive stroke. There were some crazy people believing that they cloned him, which, really? Bro, we can't even clone a simple gallbladder for people who have type 1 diabetes. You think we can clone a whole person? I don't think so. So, yesterday I saw Jamie Foxx's new Netflix special. Now, fun fact, I had never really seen Jamie Foxx do stand-up. Shocking, I know. I really only know Jamie Foxx from the movie roles he's been in. Ray, Django Unchained, they cloned Tyrone, which is probably where they got the whole clone theory from. Actually, for a second I didn't think I'd have my necklace on, now I do. So really I only ever knew Jamie Foxx as, an actor. But I have heard that he is a comedian. And I've also heard that he's really good at doing impressions. More on that in a second. So basically, this new special was titled What Had Happened Was. Obviously, Jamie Foxx telling the story of what really happened when he suffered that huge medical problem. I mean, who better to tell the story than the actual guy who suffered the problem, right? And for one thing, it put quite a few theories to bed, with one slight exception. And I'll get to that in a second. So, you know what? I can't believe what you say. Because what had happened was, around April, he had started to feel a little cathartic, a little bit like shaky, kind of. Like I can move my head like this. This is what he looked like a lot. And, you know, it took, went to several doctors, and it took this one doctor that was able to diagnose the fact that he had a brain bleed, which caused him to have a stroke. So he did have a stroke. And it was serious. So serious, in fact, that the doctor said, and this is what Jamie Foxx, and these are Jamie Foxx's words, says, if we don't open him up, he's going to die. Although, I don't really know how, I mean, back when I was in high school, I took anatomy and physiology, and we did see brain surgery being performed, like, on camera. If they're really, like, whatever surgery they did on Jamie Foxx, like, I didn't see, like, because normally when you have, like, a brain surgery, there's, like, you know, a scar on your head. I didn't see a scar on his head. Unless maybe they did it from, like, the back of his head where nobody could really tell where it was. Which makes sense. And so, obviously, the fact he has a stand-up special now in December, that should tell you that he's okay. But that wasn't always the case. Because for 20 days, he couldn't remember anything that was going on. He couldn't remember what was going on. It wasn't until May 4th that he came to. And he woke up in a wheelchair, and, you know, he's asked his buddy, hey, man, what happened? And he said, you had a stroke. It's like, I'm Jamie Foxx. I'm gonna get a stroke. And then, you know, he's like trying to get up out of the chair, and obviously he can't do that because one of the side effects of having a stroke is it very much, if not treated properly, it can render parts of your body like paralyzed. But thankfully, the kind of like after effects that Jamie Foxx had, they are recoverable. In fact, on stage he was, you know, walking and talking perfectly fine, which is good. You know, it means that, you know, the operation and the subsequent therapy he took was very successful. But in the beginning, he talks about how in the beginning he didn't really take the therapy very well. You know, he also because I mean, and I get it. When you're put in that sort of vulnerable situation, you really do feel awful. I can tell you for a fact I've been there myself. More on that later this week. And when it wasn't until like some woman, I think her name was Holly, that really like, you know, helped him put on his bootstraps and get it done. And, you know, he was able to, you know, because like part of the show was look left, look right, look up, look down. And if he could like do stuff like that without, you know, keeling over, you know, you're good. You know, you can, you know, move on. And here's the thing, this special, there were funny moments, I'll get to that in a second, but this really was a special of, well, obviously Jamie Foxx telling what happened, but also, this is something that he gets to do. I'm going to repeat that again. He gets to do this. Because I just mentioned earlier, there really was a possibility he was going to die. God quite literally gave him a second chance. And like I mentioned earlier, I get it. You're put in that vulnerable situation. You're asking all sorts of questions like, why, God? Why'd you do this to me? Or I just mentioned second chances. What was wrong with my first chance? Like, these are the sorts of problems that, everyone goes through. Well, okay, not everyone is put in this particular situation, but we all come across adversity. We all come across obstacles. And we ask ourselves, like, why is this happening to me? But, if you're able to overcome this, so many beautiful things are going to happen. Especially when you have a lot of people in your corner. And Jamie Foxx talked about how, his family, his daughters, his sister, everyone, his mother, his sister, everyone was able to keep it down in terms of, making sure the media didn't really know the full truth of what was going on. Because of course you want to keep this stuff private, anyone would. And again, there were some funny moments. Like, one of the funniest moments to me was how his nurse walked in. Well, first of all, he realized he didn't have a nurse until that moment. Again, like there was 20 days he had no idea what was going on. More than that in a second. And there's just, okay, time for your bath. So he thinks, okay, I'll roll the wheelchair into where the shower is, get myself off the chair, sit down there, take a shower, and we're all good. And no, the nurse was there to give him a sponge bath. He's like, whoa. You're not giving me a sponge bath. You're not seeing what's down there. And then the nurse is like, sir, I've been giving you sponge baths for about a month and a half now. Or half a month or something like that. And then Jamie's like, oh no. Like, again, these are the sort of uncomfortable moments that, are hard to swallow. But if you know how to laugh, and if you have a sense of humor, you can overcome this. And that led to another part of Jamie Foxx's, rehab recovery. Like they had to fly him out to Chicago for, rehab, and he's in a facility for people that unfortunately are probably never going to be able to leave. Like quadriplegic people, stuff like that. And I mentioned having a sense of humor. Jamie Foxx was saying, if I can make myself laugh, I'll stay alive, I think is what he says. Or, if I can laugh, I can stay alive. So, it was then he started, doing what he does best. He did impressions. I mean, he actually, some of his best impressions he did. He did Cat Williams, he did Dave Chappelle, which I want to make one thing clear. I mentioned in Dave Chappelle's stand-up special on Netflix, The Dreamer, that, Dave Chappelle, you could argue, is the GOAT. But at some point, you gotta put Jamie Foxx on there because he really is that funny. He is. The great comedians can take a story like this and make it funny and make it, something that we can all aspire to look to. See Cat Williams, Dave Chappelle, he did Mike Tyson, and then he's like, and at the end of the special, and there are plenty of times where, the music was going on, everyone's jumping around and dancing, and it's all sorts of great fun. And, he did some of his iconic roles and iconic moments in music. He put on his glasses and then he was Ray Charles again, which, listen, There's a reason why Jamie Foxx won that Oscar, okay? And he deserved it. And he got it for playing Ray Charles. And he talked about his other movie roles, but the one movie role I was hoping he'd get to, and he did, was Django Unchained. Full stop. At some point, I'm going to do some sort of series on the best movies I've seen in every given year that I was alive. At least the movies that I've seen, that is. And for 2012, no question, Django Unchained was the best movie I saw. I mean, my one complaint from that movie is that Jamie Foxx didn't get nominated for a second Oscar. But then again, that movie was filled to the brim with so many great performances that, you know, the Academy was only going to pick one performance from that one. And I'm glad it was Christoph Waltz. But again, I'll get to that when I get to that. Not to mention, that was actually pretty stacked Oscars that year, if I recall. Anyway, he did the opening to Kanye West's Gold Digger. Yes, I know Kanye West with the name Taboo, but trust me when I tell you, in the early to mid 2000s, you know, Kanye West surprisingly was the guy. The man had talent to spare, and arguably his most iconic song to this day is Gold Digger, and that is largely because of Jamie Foxx's opening. Fun fact, I can still hit the same notes in that song that Jamie Foxx does in it. But when I started doing that and doing it in front of my friends in high school, that's when I started to come out of my shell a little bit. So in a way, I really wouldn't have anything like this, making videos every day without Jamie Foxx. I mean, it never really occurred to me that, I could have a favorite actor or favorite actors and all, but yeah, Jamie Foxx is one of my all-time favorite actors. And to see him on stage doing his thing, making people laugh, what more could you ask for? Especially after having overcome all of that. And I said this earlier, while this special, while funny, this is something that Jamie Foxx gets to do. And remember, he gets to do this. You go through something like that, you're about to die, and God gives you a second chance. You take it. And he has. And after seeing this special, I'm most certainly ready to take on a certain something I have to do on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then again next Friday and Saturday. But all will be revealed in due time. I hope y'all like this video. If you'd like to subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very humble in this video. For all of you guys watching, enjoy for today. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk, the channel is here to lend the always your back. Take care and make good choices. 6 of 7 all day, baby.